Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, April 7th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Houston Astros versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 4 to 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get settled in for some Monday Night Baseball. We're also going to be covering the championship between the Houston Cougars and the Florida Gators. And it looks like Houston, surprisingly, is up 31-25, up by 6 with about 1:20 left in the first half. I see you, Houston. Let's get it, baby. And on the thumb on the left, you know who it is. It is Jose Altuve. And on the right, it is Julio Rodriguez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Houston Astros. Leading off for the Astros at second base, Jose Altuve. Batting second, playing third base, Isaac Paredes. Batting third, playing left field for Houston, Yordan Alvarez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Christian Walker. Batting fifth, playing shortstop, Jeremy Pena. Batting sixth, catching today for H-Town, Victor Caratini. Batting seventh, DHing today for Houston, Yanier Diaz. Batting eighth, playing center field, Jake Myers. And batting ninth, playing right field, Mauricio Dubon. And on the mound for the Astros, Hayden Wesneski. And you can definitely tell with this particular lineup, with now having Alex Bregman now on the Boston Red Sox, as well as Kyle Tucker on the Chicago Cubs, they are going to strongly miss those two individuals, and hopefully we can find a way to get a dub here today. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, welcome back to the lineup, DHing today, Jorge Polanco. Batting third, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing right field for the Mariners, Luke Raley. Batting sixth, playing first base, Rowdy Tellez. Batting seventh, playing third base, Dylan Moore. Batting eighth, playing second base, Ryan Bliss. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, J.B. Crawford. And on the mound for the Mariners, it is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. And a little bit of an update after Victor Robles made that diving catch into the wall in the Bay in San Francisco. We thought he broke his wrist. We thought he possibly broke his forearm. And it looks like he's got a shoulder separation. He's on the injured list for at least for a couple weeks, and as they evaluate him, there's MRIs going on today. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back some point, later on in the season. But again, as long as it's not necessarily a broken bone, but still really hurts, and hopefully we can find a way to recover with no Victor Robles. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. Reflect in the building, what's good? Sarah in the building, what's good? And Yeah, she messaged me earlier today, so big prayers up for Sarah and her family. It's always a tough situation when you end up having someone in the family or someone close that ends up passing. So obviously to be able to bring a little bit of comfort, you're always welcome here at any given time. If you end up having to step away at any given point for a few days, you're obviously more than welcome to do anything that's going to be best for you. But our prayers and our love are with you. We are a family here, and I hope, as the days go, further along, things will slowly, get a little bit better. And obviously I can only give my heart and give my prayers up to you. Ended up talking with my friend Brooks Beats, probably the most talented individual that I know, in our friend group. Me and him have, had dreams and had goals and have really turned our life around. He is going to be, getting a beat, type of opportunity to be able to showcase a project that he's been working on for the last 5 years called Sessions. And so I've been using the same background music, for the last, 2 years or so, year to 2 years. So we are going to be having some great music that we got permission to be able to have on the channel, which is great. So not only will you guys be able to hear some new tunes in the background while we call the game, but we'll also be able to hear some new music from him. And it's straight just background music. And everything is composed by him, with instruments and beat making machines and tools. An incredibly talented person. And again, out of everyone in my friend group and out of everyone that I've ever met, if anyone deserves to be able to make it big, it's this guy. And again, we'll be showcasing some of the music, not only today, but every stream moving forward here on the channel. So let's get all queued up here. And we got first pitch from Logan Gilbert to Jose Altuve. And again, if it ends up being a little bit too loud, you guys let me know. I have the background music set at around the same volume as I always do. But if you guys need me to turn it down a little bit, let me know. I know it's not too high. If anything, like I said, I usually have it on volume 40 to 50, but I want to make sure you guys can hear it as well. We're in the top of the first, Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. Logan Gilbert on the mound and Jose Altuve in the box. Let's go, baby. We need a strong performance from Walter. A little slow dribbler towards second base. JP Crawford, throw to first. One away. Let's go, baby. I like that. Down goes Jose Altuve. Logan Gilbert, you the man, baby. Let's go. Next up for the Houston Astros, third baseman Isaac Paredes. No problem. Love you. Appreciate you. Everything that you've done here with the channel. And big swing and a miss. I'm in the count 0-1. We got your back 100%. And not ever an easy thing when you end up having a pet or a family member that passes. So my prayers are with you. And again, for comfort, being here, will probably be your best bet. But any given, time, if you need to step away, I understand. But sometimes, being with friends, in tough situations will make it better than rather, being in the dark and being in isolation. And again, we're going to be here for you to, keep your head as high as we can get it moving forward. Little slow dribbler towards third base on a 1-1 count. Throw to first, 2 away. Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I thought it was for sure a fractured wrist, or a broken forearm, based on going into the net and hitting his, arm onto the steel pole. But it looks like it was the opposite shoulder, the left shoulder, not the right shoulder, that ended up getting dislocated and injured. And we'll see. They have him on the IL for like 10 to 14 days. But, it may be a month or two before he's back. It may be a couple weeks. We're going to have to see on how Victor Robles is training. I know he's in the building, and he's been loud and very enthusiastic, even with the injury, to keep the kind of morale up, instead of being, everyone down and out because he got hurt. So I love Victor Robles for that. Next up here, we have Yordan Alvarez. 1-0 pitch. Yordan Alvarez is outside. 1-0 count. Two 2-0 pitch. Pitch is low and in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. And, shout out to my boy, Brooks Beats. Again, this guy is incredibly talented. Even Busta Rhymes, reached out, to some of his samples, a few years back. Obviously, the hard work is something that has been a progression for him. And again, anything that I can do to be able to help, support him and his dreams and goals as well. Again, me and him used to party pretty heavy, and to be able to cut back on the drinking and the partying, and to be able to, kind of go more towards your goals and your dreams. And it took a while for both of us to, get to that point. And obviously I've had the success a little bit sooner than himself, but I'm going to do anything and everything I can for him to try to be able to get his name out there and to succeed. And his stuff is great. He can do a little bit of everything. He can do a little hip hop, he can do a little bit of R&B. He's a very, very talented guy, and everything is produced, all by him. No help by anybody else. 3-2 pitch, and Yordan Alvarez crushes that one foul, and the count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yordan Alvarez in the box, and Logan Gilbert on the mound. Let's go, Walter. We're going to need a good performance here. Captain in the building. What's good? 3-2 pitch. Pitch is inside, and that's a walk to Yordan Alvarez. Alvarez to first. Next up, the former Diamondback first baseman Christian Walker. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, if we hit the algorithm, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. And I'm kind of excited about it too, because again, we've been using the same 4 or 5 kind of background beats for the last year or two, and to be able to get some original, music from someone that is close to me and that is going to fit very perfectly with the channel. And again, there's about, I think, like 15 to 20 tracks, but I'm going to have to go through each one to see which one I feel is a good fit for particular baseball streams. And I got about 3 right now, and I still got a few more I got to listen to later tonight. Pitch is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Christian Walker. One pitch. Yeah, his name is Brooks Beats, Brooks Beatz, located here in Oregon with me. One of the most talented people I've ever met. One of the best beat makers here on the West Coast. Not really fully discovered just yet. But again, we used to make beats, kind of together, when we would party and whatnot. And again, this guy is incredibly talented, and again, anything that I can do. And he's been working on kind of debuting, this, first quote unquote beat album. He's been working on it for like 5 years, and he's got many, many, many tracks that he could obviously put on it. But I figured, talking to him, that we could help support each other. And moving forward, we're going to have his stuff here on the channel exclusively here. And it's going to be great. Big punch out there on Christian Walker. I love that. And 3 up and 3 down. Let's go, Mariners. And again, without having Alex Bregman, to the Red Sox, who's been playing great, and without having Kyle Tucker, who's on the Cubs, who's playing great, we should be able to beat up this team. This is one of the teams that has been struggling like us. But as you can see in the lineup, they have Altuve, they have Yordan Alvarez, they have Jeremy Pena, but besides that, there's not a whole lot there, compared to having, the Kyle Tucker experience and the Alex Bregman experience. So instead of having a big 5, it's now a big 3. So we should be able to take advantage a little. But again, we just lost Victor Robles yesterday. So obviously things are going to even out quite a bit. But I like our chances in this series, and I like our chances tonight. Leading off for the Mariners, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, DHing, welcome back, Jorge Polanco. And batting third, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Mariners. And there'll be, certain music that will fit, better for certain streams and whatnot. But, with this particular, sound, it's more like kind of a psychedelic hip hop, he can do a little bit of everything. So, and again, I just got a chance to listen to, how many did I get a chance? I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I still have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to listen to. So I got a chance to listen to about half of what was going to come out, and I chose 3. So this one right here is called Heaven, and I feel it fits very, very well. And we'll be going to Better Off and Echo in a moment here. And we'll go to the next one here. We'll go to Better Off, and then we'll go to Echo. So I got 3 lined up, at least for this particular stream. Megan with a 5er. Appreciate you. First pitch to Julio, fouled up. And fading foul. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, and a little cactus jack. So excited. Just got our first piece of casting news for Back to the Future. Roger Bart playing Doc as he did in the West End and the Broadway. So damn happy. Coming to Australia. I'm happy for you as well. Thank you so much for your support. $5 holla. Reflect with a $5 holla. Appreciate you. Second pitch to Julio. Big swing and a miss. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. We're at 10. 90 to go. Calvin in the building. What's good? Well, you got a couple Astro fans here in the building, Calvin and Stormbum. I think Calvin's a little bit more realistic with where the Astros are sitting, though. 0-2 pitch to Julio Rodriguez. And we have Hayden Wesneski on the mound. Julio Rodriguez in the box. And again, no Bregman, right? And no Kyle Tucker, which is going to be a big loss for the team. But obviously not having Victor Robles is a huge loss for us. He's really, the gas that makes us go. And he's the wheels that make us turn. And without having him in the lineup for 10 to 14 days, a month, 2 months, or maybe the rest of the season, we'll see on how bad it really is with that shoulder separation and soreness in the wrist and forearm. But I hope he'll be okay. 1-2 count to Julio Rodriguez from Wesneski. Julio crushes it into right field. 1 away. Next up is DH. Today, normally playing third base, Jorge Polanco. And Jorge Polanco batting a cool 450. Let's keep it up, baby. Let's go, Polo. You really think you're going to finish in third? Who do you got finishing first and second in this division? You got Rangers in first, and then what? What do you got? Mariners in second and Astros in third, or do you got Rangers in first? Athletics in second, and then Astros in third, Mariners in fourth, and Angels in fifth? I mean, it's really too early to say where we're going to all be, settling in. And we're behind the count here, 0-2 to Jorge Polanco. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is low and at the knees. Good save there by Caratini. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we'll get some photos up here in a moment for Megan and Reflect. And do you want Roger Bart for photos or someone else that you would like to see? 1-2 pitch. Polo crushes it towards first base, foul. Jorge Polanco in the box, and Hayden Wesneski on the mound. Wesneski, pitch to Polo, crushes it towards first base, foul. And again, it sounds like it was reported that he had some soreness in that surgically repaired knee, but it was actually some soreness with his hips, based on a couple, odd swings, that he had earlier based on, kind of what they said. So more than one body part that's been banged up for quite a few Mariners. Polo crushes it, line drive into right field, 2 away. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Absolutely, I got you. Randy, first pitch, crushes it in the same spot, but just right in front. Oh, baby. Just right in front of Mauricio Dubon. We'll take that. Dubon's been getting line drives one after another, and luckily, after Julio and Polo hit to him, that's one dropped just in front of him for a nice single. We like that. Into right field. Randy Arozarena is on board, and he's been struggling. He's probably been struggling the most, besides, some of the other guys like Rowdy Tellez, Randy Arozarena. But Randy got hot early in the season. Rowdy really hasn't gotten going, or Donovan Solano, or really Miles Mastrobuoni. So we got guys that are really at the bottom. But within the last couple games, Randy has struggled. But nice to be able to see him get a base knock at his first at-bat against the Astros. We're going to need it. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Let's go big dumper. Bottom of the first, 0-0. Randy Arozarena at first with 2 outs. Wisniewski on the mound, 13 pitches in, 1-0 count. And Cal crushes that. Foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go big dumper. Let's go Cal. Cal crushes that one. Just foul. Come on, big dumper. One-two pitch from Wisniewski to Cal Raleigh. Runner goes, and a stolen bag for Randy Arozarena. We like that, baby. Next up, we got a track called Echo. And again, at some point or another, we'll probably be having all of them, cycled through, but I'll try to choose, I think, the best, 4 or 5 out of like the 10 to 15 that I think that will fit, based on a particular baseball stream and whatnot. But his stuff is so good, you can do it on anything. And the thing that I love about him the most, is his creativity and not trying to be like anybody else. You get certain artists out there that try to capture a sound of someone famous, and, he kind of just does it his way. And that's one reason that I really respect him, is that, he's always trying to get everyone's, approval in the past. And I told him, it doesn't matter what other people think. It really matters what you think, And again, I tried to kind of show him the way on how to get your dreams and goals done with how much hard work that you got to put in. And at the end of the day, if you're happy with it, then it's going to be great. And, I like it because it's, whenever I hear something of him, I know it's his, music, it's him, it's you. And that's what makes it really special. Cal Raleigh fouls that off, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, I love seeing, people win. And I love seeing my friends win. And, I don't really have too many, in the friend group, that I feel that, could really take their dreams and goals to that next level. And really, I feel, in this particular friend group that we had, where we had quite a few individuals in the sales floor, where we worked for those big companies, selling cable, internet, and phone, big companies in Boston and New York. Out of all of those talented individuals, I always felt that me and him would be the ones that would kind of succeed and go a little bit further. Little flip to first base, and Wisniewski gets him. Wow. And that will be the end of the first inning. And we leave one stranded. We're knotted up here still at 0. Get a couple photos up here for Megan. And then reflect anything that you want to see now or later on, let me know. And if I don't hear from you, I'll just sprinkle in some Mac or something else, whatever we need to do at the time. Or the top of the second, we're knotted up here still at 0. Appreciate you very, very much. Let's see if we can squeeze in a little Mac here for reflect as well. I appreciate the two of you so much. We're at 10, 90 to go. Logan Gilbert on the mound. We're going to need a Walter type of performance to kind of get back, into the thick of things. So, and we'll do some Cardinals and Colts for Sarah too. First pitch is outside, 1-0 count. And next up for the Astros will be Jeremy Pena. Pena crushes that one into left field, but Randy Arozarena is there. There we go. We like that. 31-28 lead for Houston. Houston's been in control the whole game. Has that surprised anybody? Again, not a lot of people have watched Houston, from beginning to end, unless you're a Cougar fan, right? But again, they are feeding off the momentum off that Duke victory, and they got Florida on the ropes. They're up by 6 right now, and they look like the stronger team in the first half, believe it or not. Even though Florida's team is probably more talented, top to bottom, Houston might actually win the championship for the men's. That's wild, since the women's, obviously with Paige Buecas, ended up winning in a blowout for UConn. That's why sports is great. You never know what you're going to get on any given day. Next up is catcher Victor Caratini, and I got the championship game here on as well. Any specific photos that you would like, Sarah, for Cardinals? Or it doesn't even have to be Cardinals and Colts. At this point, it can be anything that will try to, put half a smile on your face with everything that that has happened, obviously within, a few hours and whatnot today. So, but I'm glad that you're here. And again, not an easy, kind of thing to go through alone. So always remember, you're never alone. We are a family here, and even though we don't see each other like face to face, with a lot of the people that are in the room that are the regulars, the mods, the OGs, we are a family here, 100%. And again, prayers up to you. Everyone say a prayer for Sarah, and I hope things will slowly get a little bit better for you. Throw to first, 2 away. Agreed. Yeah, and if their defense and rebounding end up being as good as it is that I've seen in that first half, that could be the difference in them winning the championship, as well as feeding off that Uncle Mo and that momentum of beating Duke. Again, I don't think anyone really thought that Duke was going to lose, and if they were going to lose, they would probably lose to Florida in the championship. But again, that's what makes sports so special. Any given day, anything can happen. Next up is Yanier Diaz. First pitch is outside to Diaz, 1-0 count. And I kind of did a back, I felt like I wanted to go back in time in the 80s and 90s, so as well as in the 2000s. So I ended up kind of touching up and catching up on some things that I haven't seen in a minute. So I started watching some old episodes of Perfect Strangers with Cousin Larry and Valky Bartokamos. I haven't laughed like that and felt that good. The theme song for that show always makes me tear up, with memories in my childhood. I love Perfect Strangers. I finally got a chance to watch Shaun of the Dead on my PS2 on DVD with Paisley. And after that, I actually, just before I got started today, I ended up watching Big Trouble in Little China. And that's, those two movies are two of my favorites, and I haven't seen them in years. And it felt really good to watch them after not seeing them in quite some time. Even though I've seen Shaun of the Dead and obviously Big Trouble in Little China, many, many times, probably 20 times or more each one. But and then the Perfect Stranger episodes are phenomenal. Great, great show. They don't make sitcoms like that anymore. Top of the second, 0-0, Astros and Mariners. 2-2 pitch to Gilbert to Diaz. Pitch is outside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, Logan. Got him. Second K for Logan Gilbert, bringing that electricity early, and that's what we need. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning, and we're still knotted up at 0. Next up for the Mariners here in the bottom of the second, right fielder Luke Raley. Batting second at first base, Rowdy Tellez. And we're going to have to figure out, DH in first base, because I know they don't feel comfortable really with Luke at first. But now with the Victor Robles injury, they can put him in the outfield. But again, Rowdy Tellez, if he's at first or DH, he hasn't been good enough, and there's been a few other guys that have been struggling like JP Crawford and Ryan Bliss as well. So I'm hoping, with this Victor Robles injury, we might be able to call someone else, from the farm at some point, but again, we need some of our guys to step up. It hasn't been a very good start to the season. This is the worst start the Mariners have had since like 2017, 2018, and not good. But I still have faith in this team, and I will never give up. Batting second, third baseman, who actually has been playing well, Dylan Moore. And batting third this inning, second baseman, a guy that can defend. He's kind of the Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb of the Mariners at 5'5", 5'6". We're talking about Ryan Bliss. Let's go Mariners. But I think that with Tellez and a few others, they will get better as the season goes on. But again, Donovan Solano hasn't been good. Rowdy Tellez hasn't been good. Niles Mastroboni has been kind of hit or miss. And, JP really hasn't been good. Bliss has been kind of suspect. So, really, we could go up and down the order. And Jorge Polanco, has been our best player, at least hitting-wise, not all around. Julio has stepped up big. We've seen Cal start to kind of get a little bit better. But I would say right now, Jorge, Polanco, Polo has been the best. Then Julio, and then probably Dylan Moore. Or Dylan Moore and then Julio. But again, we need more than 3 guys to be able to step up. And hopefully we can get 4 or 5 guys out of 9, at some point. Because typically you're not going to have all 9 guys just raking at the same time. But we need a steady improvement. And that almost hits Rowdy Tellez on an 0-2 count. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wesneski to Rowdy Tellez. The man, Perfect Strangers, on the, on the Pluto TV and Freebie. You can watch old episodes on there. Popped up to second base, 1 away. And they rotate it sometimes with that channel where it'll be like Growing Pains for a day, Perfect Strangers for a day. And nothing will make me feel the way that I feel when I have those memories to theme songs and certain shows that were a part of my childhood. And Shaun of the Dead was so good. And Big Trouble in Little China, so good. And I'm so glad I got a chance to do that because I typically don't really watch movies. It's usually shows or obviously watching film and reading. Next up for Wesneski in the box is Rowdy Tellez. Luke Rayleigh goes down, obviously, at that first at-bat now. Rowdy Tellez batting .067. And again, we had guys like Mike Ford, Carlos Santana, and Jared Vogelbach, and it's usually, either a home run or a strikeout. But even with those guys, Vogelbach, Carlos Santana was probably the best one out of the thick guys. And then Mike Ford, again, it took a while for each guy to kind of get going. But again, I don't know if any of them started off this slow. And Rowdy kind of fucked us up in the past when he was on other teams. So I know this is a hard ballpark to hit at, but he's been struggling on the road as well. And again, if you're not going to be able to get it going, you're going to have to replace him, and put him on the bench and try someone new. At some point, you're going to have to say enough is enough, especially if you're not even batting 100. 3-1 count to Rowdy Tellez. I mean, I like the big guys, but you got to be able to at least hit if you're not going to be defending. Now count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. All right, take care, Megan. Appreciate you. That's a great gesture. I wish I could do the same right now, but I can't. I like I said, things have been pretty light, on the donos, and I got, a couple bills coming up that, hopefully I can get enough Cash App or something of that nature to be able to get that done, obviously for like the internet bill that I got coming up here in I think 4 or 5 days. But once I, get past that, and after paying, the internet bill and the streaming fee, once I can get, another probably $100, I obviously will try to do the same. So unfortunately, I am not in the position to do it right now because things have been kind of light, but that's a great gesture. And that's it's always makes me smile and makes me feel proud, when we have people like you, and myself and a few others in the room that would do a thing like that. And I know that will definitely, make Sarah's day better than obviously it, started at this point. So shout out to Reflect for being an all-around great human being. These are the type of people that I'm proud of to be a part of the channel on a daily basis and to be my friend.
Oh my God.
Big pitch there on a 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour from Wesneski to Demo, behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Demo pops up, and that's going to fade behind the plate, foul. Yeah, really what put me in the hole is having to pay like $200 to get my taxes done. I wasn't expecting it to be like $180, $190. And, certain months on the channel, it's like you get donos, but then also Google, YouTube take a percentage out of those. So, I am doing my dream and I'm doing my goals, but I'm not making the type of funds that people are making when they're working full time. Making $20 an hour and whatnot. So, but when things get a little bit better, I'll be able to do something of that nature as well. Popped up for Demo, and that is the end of the second inning. We're knotted up at 0. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'll try to, once things get a little bit better for me, after I get this internet bill paid, which I think is due around the 10th or the 11th. And I think I need to spend like another $50, $60. And then I got a streaming fee that'll be $45 that's due around the 15th. And then I only get paid once a month. So, usually around the 21st. But maybe I'll be able to get, Sarah, a Cardinal t-shirt or a wrestling tee or something like that, All right, we're knotted up here, still at 0. Let's go to the top of the third inning. Logan Gilbert still wheeling and dealing. Let's see who's up next here for Houston. Next up for Houston will be in the 8-hole, center fielder Jake Myers. Batting second in the 9-hole, right fielder Mauricio Dubon. And batting third, we're back at the top of the order, second baseman, Jose Altuve. Let's go, Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour and a half, 30 to 50 if we hit the algorithm, and then obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. We're at 10. I don't know where we're at on the likes. If someone can keep track of that for me in the room, one of the mods possibly, if it's possible there. Where are we at? We are at 12. So we got about half of the people in the room that have done it. Now we're at 14. We only need 6 more to get into the algorithm. So 6 more likes and we're at 20. Thank you so much. We're at 14, 6 more to go. First pitch from Logan Gilbert to Jake Myers. And that's in there for a strike. 0-1 count to Jake Myers. So Logan, we're going to need a great performance here today. So far, so good. And when Logan is good, it's usually, scoreless or maybe even a hit or two, but no runs, usually within the first couple innings. But just like any Mariner pitcher, if you end up giving up, 1 to 3 runs within the first 2 innings, you probably know it's not going to be a very good day for the pitching. And again, hitting has been bottom 5. We can't afford for pitching to be bottom 5 either. And we definitely have one of the best pitching staffs with the Phillies and the Dodgers, but we haven't had George Kirby, we haven't had Troy Taylor, and we haven't had Matt Brash this season. Once we get those 3, 2 in the pen and 1 starter, we're going to be much better moving forward, as well as Victor Robles coming back as well. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jake Myers from Logan Gilbert. 1-2 pitch. Pitch in there. Should have been a strike, but called ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Myers. It'll be interesting to see where the strike zone will be for this ump here today. First time through the order since last season, and his rankings are very high. Logan Gilbert is a top 10 pitcher in Major League Baseball. Yeah, I try to get some new stuff, every time, I try to search the different photographers and see what, new stuff is out. So we're not using the same photos for, either team or any team that I do, home or away. 2-2 pitch, popped up, and that should be a routine play. Bliss and Julio are there. Bliss has it. There we go. 1 away. Next up is right fielder Mauricio Dubon. Top of the third, 0-0 Astros and Mariners. Logan Gilbert looking great, so far. And it was a damn shame that Brian Wu, gave up that 3-run homer, in that matchup. That's very uncharacteristic, of him. And really one bad pitch pretty much the whole game. And, you got to give the San Francisco Giants the credit where credit needs to be given. But, man, that was a tough one because, you don't want to see your top guys lose. And in my opinion, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and Brian Wu are our best. Then Bryce Miller, and then Luis Castillo. Pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mauricio Dubon. Candace in the building. What's good? 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Dubon. One-two pitch. Popped up. And fading foul. Go Logan. 1-2 pitch. Popped up. And into right field to Luke Raley, filling in for Victor Robles, 2 away. We sacrifice our bodies out there. It's not easy being a Pacific Northwest fan, but glad to hear that Victor Robles didn't break his wrist or his forearm, but that shoulder separation is not going to be easy to heal, but hopefully we'll get him back this year. And hopefully we get him back, sooner than later. Next up, second baseman, Jose Altuve. Big swing and a miss by Altuve behind in the count, 0-1. Yeah, but Castillo, when we first brought him in Julio's rookie year, he was great, and he was actually a big reason why, with Julio and Cal and him, to be able to get us to the playoffs, for the very first time in 20 plus years. But since then, if you're a stat and analytical guy like me and Reflect, we look at every single stat, every single analytic. He's been progressively getting worse and worse and worse, and he's been opening day starter every year but this year, but he shouldn't have been the opening starter, on day one for the last couple years. He's progressively getting worse, but again, they have him slotted in the 2 spot, but realistically, he's probably our 5th best pitcher. And most Mariner fans would agree. It's just not very consistent. I think we trust Wu and Miller more, even though they're younger, and we know that Kirby and Gilbert are our best. And hopefully we get guys like Durangelo and a few others that are in the farm up, into the big league sooner than later as well. Let's go Mariners. But definitely a luxury, to be able to have Luis Castillo as our 5th best pitcher, just like Wheelbite has mentioned. It's a luxury. It's not always been like that. And again, the Phillies got a pretty good staff. Dodgers have the best staff. But again, we need to be able to be good at pitching. Our bullpen hasn't been very good. We need the starters to be good, the bullpen to be good. We need the hitting to be good. We need the defense to be good. But again, it seems like we're only getting like one thing out of like 4 or 5 categories. And as soon as we feel like we're doing good in one category, then we start kind of, falling back in another, or we have injuries. So, and that's the life of being a Mariner fan. It's never easy being a small market fan team. So. Three balls and 2 strikes to Jose Altuve. Count now is full. Come on, Mariners. Chopper, and that is foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Altuve. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be the favored team to win the World Series every single year moving forward, not just with the Mookie Betts and, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and the Blake Snell and all of the Japanese pitchers in the pipeline there. They are going to be kind of like the Patriots when they had Belichick, Brady, and Gronk for like that 20-year run. Like as soon as the season starts, if you had to pick one team, realistically, even if they're not your team, to win it all, I think most people, undoubtedly would say the Dodgers, and they should. So, but it's not like they're going to win it every year, but they'll definitely be one of the top teams every year. Popped up. Really, the only team that's going to beat the Dodgers is the Dodgers at this point, based off like injuries to some of their starting pitching or injuries to Mookie, Freddie, or Shohei. And we get out of the inning there, finally. And let's go to the bottom of the 3rd. We're still knotted up here at 0. Nice job, JP. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners, and we can get some offense going. Been tough. Last 4 or 5 years, we've been batting a bottom 5 team around 200 to 220, and we're even worse this year. So hopefully we can get some of our role players to step up because we need it. Next up in the 8-hole, second baseman Ryan Bliss. Batting second, shortstop in the 9-hole, J.P. Crawford. And leadoff hitter at the top of the order again, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And J-Rod, it took him 20 plus games, to be able to get that first homer. So to be, 10 games in and already have 3, this is one of the best starts he's had to start his career. But again, lo and behold, as soon as he has a good start, others are struggling. So kind of what we're used to here being in Seattle or in Oregon in the Pacific Northwest, but we still believe. Let's go. Yeah, but the thing is, even if the Padres or the Giants get a wild card and you're not, winning the division, as long as you get in the dance, anything can happen, especially when you go to the playoffs. And the Dodgers have kind of been known as injury prone, for their pitchers. My dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s, so I follow that team, to the needle, with the Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax era. So my dad's been, following them since the 50s. He lived in LA, also lived in Hawaii growing up as a kid. So anytime I not, typically do a Mariner game, if we have a day off, I'll typically do a Dodger game in honor of him. And again, they are so deep, but it's more than just starting pitching. It's bullpen, it's the relievers, it's the contact hitters, and it's also the guys that they bring in. But again, they do spend the most money. And again, if you spend money, you make money and you win. And again, the Yankees had that kind of formula back in the day, and they had a little run, with Jeter, in the late 90s and the early 2000s, but they haven't really been the same, since then. So you can't really buy yourself a championship. At least you couldn't back then, even though the Yankees were very, very good with Jeter and Bernie Williams and Mariano Rivera. They had some of the best players in that, Jorge Posada, but again, just because you spend the most or top 5 money doesn't necessarily, mean that you're going to be healthy when it matters most in the postseason. But we'll definitely see if the torpedo bats and the health of the teams will help moving forward. Pitches outside to Ryan Bliss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Bliss in the box. Hayden Wesneski in on the mound. Little dribbler. Throw to first. Got him. Nice job by Hayden Wesneski. He's actually doing decent so far here. But, we have a tendency to make anybody look like a Cy Young candidate. Someone that's got an ERA of 1.99 or a guy that's got an ERA of 10.99. If you're a bottom 5 hitting team and you're batting, 200 to 220 or even under 200 sometimes as a team, everyone looks amazing. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Slow dribbler, throw to first, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Tridents up, baby. Let's go. We need you, Julio. More now than ever since Victor Robles is out. We need you offensively, and we need you defensively. And prayers up for Victor Robles as well. Hopefully you'll get healthy sooner than later. We're going to miss you. Julio's got all the potential in the world, but again, he doesn't have the best patience in the box. Stealing bags, he's great at that. Defense, he's great at that. No fly zone, right? But, as far as like contact hitting and not trying to go for moonshots every single time, getting behind in the count 0-2 leads to a strikeout or an out like 90 to 95% of the time. And now it's 0-2 here as we're watching. So, again, Julio is one of those guys, if he doesn't learn how to be a better contact hitter in the box, he's just going to be a popular player. You can be top 5 in popularity, but that doesn't mean, or top 5 or top 10 in popularity and have a good attitude and be happy-go-lucky. But at the end of the day, that's not going to make you an all-star every year. It's not going to make you a Hall of Famer for damn sure. And again, you have to be critical, towards your guys. You want your guys to be great, but you just can't give them a pass because they're on your team. And again, Julio had a great rookie season in 2022. And again, a good start with a big punch out there by Wesneski. But again, still the one thing that he needs to learn from Ichiro, Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., he needs to watch more tape and again, maybe modify his stance and just be a little bit more patient in the box. I don't know if he needs to use another bat, maybe a different grip, with the bat and the position of his hands, but just being more patient in the box. And hopefully, when you get into your prime years typically 4 through 10, where you can really take off, if he can get better, then maybe he'll start to be a perennial all-star, or at least in the conversation. And then if he can do that, maybe one day he will be a Hall of Famer. But at this point, in this early part of his career, he is nowhere near, being a Hall of Famer, and he's nowhere near being a consistent player to be able to make the All-Star team year in and year out, even though he is popular. And again, you have to be able to get the job done and not just be quote-unquote popular. And, we're rooting for him, but he's got a long ways to go. And, that's just being a Mariner fan and just being true. Go to the top of the 4th and see who's up next here for the Astros. Next up for the Astros in the 2-hole, third baseman Isaac Paredes. Batting second, left fielder Yordan Alvarez. And batting third in the 4-hole, the cleanup spot, first baseman, formerly of the Diamondbacks, Christian Walker. And I know Astro fans are really going to miss Bregman and Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker was my favorite player on your guys' team. I like Jeremy Pena as well. Not to say that I didn't like Bregman, Yordan, or Jose Altuve and whatnot, but obviously the Mariners and the Astros, we are rivals and whatnot. So, they don't really like us and we don't really like them, but I can still give credit where credit's due for players that are good, like Altuve, Bregman, and Yordan Alvarez. But I always kind of felt more of a connection with Kyle Tucker and his abilities. I felt that he was super underrated, and now you see what he's doing on the Cubs. He is the man, and Bregman is doing well with the Red Sox over there as well. So definitely a different look to this Astro team that has dominated the AL West for years. And maybe this will be the year that another team wins the division. Rangers, I'm not sure if we can do it. I mean, obviously we've dug ourselves in a big hole, but more than likely it'll probably be the Astros or the Rangers. I mean, right now, if you look at the standings, it's Rangers, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Because remember last year, the Astros started, on a kind of a, very, very bad start, and then they ended up finishing really strong and winning the division. So you never can count the Astros out, especially if their pitching can help the hitting out. And they had some struggles early on, but they found a way, and they typically do. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is in the zone there for Logan Gilbert to Isaac Paredes. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, but you could argue that's one of the most valuable pieces on the team. I think Tucker was more valuable than Bregman. Everything that Tucker brought, and you saw the home run power, the defense, and everything that he brought to the team. Altuve and Yordan Alvarez and Bregman will be the most popular, but I think that Pena and Tucker, you can never devalue those guys. You need guys like that, and unfortunately, some of those guys are no longer there. Nice little dribbler there, and unfortunately, we couldn't come up with that play. And that's Rowdy Tellez for you. He can't defend, and he can't hit. Terrible. Replace this guy. Nice job by Paredes there, taking advantage of Rowdy Tellez's inability to defend or hit, unfortunately. First pitch in there to Yordan Alvarez, in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Top of the 4th, 0-0 Astros and Mariners. Runner at first, Paredes. In the box, Yordan Alvarez. Pretty crazy that the Blue Jays finally caved and gave Vladdy that big $500 million deal when they were threatening that they were going to let him walk, after the season was over. So, or at least they get a guy for the rest of his career. That's a lot of money, though. $500 million, even if the salary cap, in other sports, you have kind of like a cap there, but baseball's a little different. Big swing and a miss behind in the count 1-2 from Logan Gilbert, a.k.a. Walter, to Yordan Alvarez. Big swing and a miss. Got him. That's not going to happen too often there. Nice job by Logan Gilbert bringing that electricity on the mound. And that's his third K of the night. Keep it up, Logan. You're our best pitcher here in 2025. Let's go. Way to bring it. Next up, fresh from the Diamondbacks at first base, Christian Walker. And that should help supplement some of the holes left from Bregman and Tucker. Obviously, at least batting wise, getting another bat in there to supplement losing those two guys that were pretty damn consistent for you guys for years and years. I appreciate that. Yeah, if I didn't have to pay that huge tax fee, I would be sitting in a much, that was like an unexpected thing that, kind of made things difficult for me, on top of having like a 311 vet bill for Paisley a couple weeks ago. So, sometimes things are, higher than expected and they put you in a little bit of hole. But, me and Reflect will always be there for you. And I'm glad that you're here with us tonight. And you can always reach out to me on socials, at any given point. You need someone to talk to, I'll be here. I mean, I've been here, like I said, it's, this is something where, for a few of us, we're like family. We've been here for quite some time. So it's crazy. We're going to be approaching my 14th year streaming next year and 10 on YouTube. We're 13 right now and 9 years on YouTube. So next year will be the double digits. We'll be at 10 on YouTube, 14 overall. Pretty crazy. Cool kid in the building. What's good? And I appreciate that as well. Because I was actually thinking about that, but when I look at my bank account and I still have, a couple bills to pay coming up, I was like, man, if I do this, then I'm gonna have to pray that someone blesses me on Cash App, because obviously when people do the super chat, I don't get that until the following month. And then they get a percentage taken out of it. So really the only way I can help immediately is if I get like a Venmo or a Cash App where I get it immediately and I have access to the funds. So, but I appreciate you very much for that. Mattman in the building, what's good? And we got 48-45. The Cougars beating the Gators by 3, but Houston has been in full control from beginning to end so far, and they might end up winning it. Deck swing there. Did he go? Wow, got Walker with that splitter. 2 away. Walker very upset about that. But that split finger just went from the top to the bottom. And down goes Christian Walker. Next up, one of my favorites on the Astros, Jeremy Pena. And I don't got too many favorites, being a Seattle Mariner fan, but, I'm not going to be a hater. There definitely is a rivalry there, but again, my 2 favorite players that were on that team for years and years, no disrespect to Altuve, Bregman, or Yordan Alvarez. They caused more pain for me, but definitely Jeremy Pena and Kyle Tucker now on the Cubs were the guys that were my personal favorites that I would go out of my way to kind of watch those guys. And, they would hurt us too here in Seattle. But maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit more likable, overall across the board, because I feel with like Altuve, he's kind of like public enemy number 1 for most people. Yordan Alvarez is liked and he's a good player, but again, not on the Altuve level as far as, maybe hate. People like Yordan, more universally across the board. And then with Bregman, I think it was kind of in the middle between Altuve and Yordan. Yordan is probably the most liked out of those 3, but nothing can be dismissed. All 3 of those players are damn good players, just like Pena and Tucker. And you're seeing Bregman ball out for the Red Sox and Tucker looking like an MVP candidate for the Cubs. 0-1 pitch, because they lost Bellinger to the Yankees, so they needed to fill a spot, and they sure did. Big swing and a miss there for Pena. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Let's go, Logan. Thanks, cool kid. Yeah, it's from my one of my really, really good friends, Brooks Beats. He's been working on a project for about 5 years, and so it's called Sessions. And I got permission to be able to do everything on that particular, it's just straight beats that he has composed, with instruments and beat making machines himself. Everything is 100% his and original. And I will always support my friends. And, we've been using the same 3 or 4, default tracks of beats, that just came with my program. And now we get to have better music for beats in the background. And I can support my friend in the same. So it's definitely a win-win. But so far tonight, we're just going to be playing 3 tracks. This one is called Echo. And then we have the one before that was Better Off. And this next one is probably my favorite. It's called Heaven. And I feel this one fits the baseball stream the best, but it can fit anything. But he's got other ones called Amnesty, Chopped Eye, Don't Lie, Doodah, Drizzle, Love, Others, Silo, Retrograde, Sizzle, Woo, and I don't know if it's Woo or WU, probably Woo, and Walking, Water, and Wouldn't Care. And again, this is a person that when we used to party back in the day, we would make beats together. He would be the one doing a lot of the work, on the beat pads or, different programs. And then I would give my input, you need a bell here, you need a snap here, you need to lower the treble here. And we would work together. And he's so talented that we literally could make like a radio beat within maybe 30 minutes to an hour. He is that talented, and he can do anything: rap, hip hop, reggae, little EDM. He can do a little bit of everything. And I figured since he ended up making a post that he's going to end up being almost finished with it, and he's been working on it for 5 years. I told him, I could, help promote, and have it for background music for my streams. And I'm going to help my friends succeed. I'm not a hater, And again, out of all my friends in my friend group, this is the one out of like the 30, 40, 50 people that we used to all hang out with in a big group. This was by far the most talented person that I've ever met. And again, the only thing that I think he lacked back in the day is work ethic. And again, he was always doing different jobs like phone sales, like me, construction. He was riding dirt bikes, and he had a lot of other hobbies, but he never really went all in. And now, he's got a fiance. He stopped drinking and partying. He's got a good job. He's got better equipment. Now he's more dedicated. And sometimes you got to be able to find the time is right in life for certain dreams and goals. And sometimes, you have to wait for certain things to line up. And now they're lining up perfectly for him, and I'm going to support him, and we're going to have his music in the background on the stream for maybe the rest of my life. So anything that comes through, and his stuff is so good. Polo pops up. That's in foul territory. One away. And then any new projects or music that come up, we'll be able to put on here. And it's funny too, because we used to we're not rappers, but we used to freestyle, like with him and me and his buddy and my buddy called Tall Nick. And obviously Tall Nick was tall. And we used to just be at my house or his, and we'd just be drinking beers and, coming up with different beats and whatever. And, just kind of playfully freestyling and whatnot. And, I miss those days. And I'm going to help, my friends win. And, he's fantastic. Brooks Beats, BROOKS BEATZ, if you have SoundCloud. And then obviously sessions will be coming out obviously pretty soon. And we'll be able to promote here on the channel moving forward, which is great. It's a win-win because we needed some new background music anyways, instead of using the same 1 to 4 default tracks that came with my program. So bottom of the 4th, 0-0 Astros and Mariners. Which is outside for Wesneski to Arozarena. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's SoundCloud, on there, but I'm not sure, where he's going to be going. I'm pretty sure he's got stuff, on different platforms, but, once he, it gets all finished, I'll probably get more details and whatnot. So, but I don't think website, usually through SoundCloud where you do music there, beats, and usually rappers, do stuff there and singers. And that's usually the platform that's used. But I imagine once things come out, there may be other ways to be able to listen. But it's strictly just beats, and his beats are good. That could be, I told him, back in the day, his beats could be, in commercials. They could be in movies, just little snippets, of things, where it's you don't need to try to be, someone that, gets a beat picked up by a famous rapper for like 10 grand. Now that would be great if a rapper bought your beat for 10 grand. But again, you have to kind of think outside the box, and again, there's just so many avenues to be able to get your stuff out there. Big out there for Randy Arozarena. But again, since I work, pretty much every day, and we're going to be doing basketball, baseball, football, hockey, NASCAR, it's going to be, a good fit to be able to promote, support him, and it's a win-win for us here because then we have something better to listen to in the background as well while we promote him. Chopper for Cal Raleigh, throw to first, and an easy 1-2-3 inning there for Wesneski. Man, we're making Hayden look like a Cy Young candidate here today, just like every other player. One hit for the Mariners, nothing for the Astros. Kind of a weird game, considering everything that's happened with the last 24 hours after Victor Robles crashed into the net and into the post and hurt himself and ended up separating his shoulder. Tough series for us in the Bay, but again, maybe if Bregman and Tucker were on this team still, we would not be sitting at 0-0. But again, I feel that this will definitely go down to the wire. And once starting pitching goes out, the game should be able to open up. So. Next up for the Astros in the top of the fifth, second baseman Jose Altuve. 0 for 2, and he'll try to make it 1 for 3. Batting second in the 2-hole, third baseman 0 for 2, Isaac Paredes. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball and a K, left fielder Yordan Alvarez. But again, a lot of times, I'm going based on, I have multiple screens up at all times, and sometimes ESPN lags. So I'm usually basing it off the broadcast if I can remember, or ESPN, but sometimes ESPN is lagging, and I don't think that's correct. And next batter is Victor Caratini. See, that's why I can't always trust ESPN, because sometimes, it's on point, and sometimes it's the previous inning that, for whatever reason, they don't update, and they have guys going to the bathroom or taking a break. So now it'll be catcher in the 6-hole, Victor Caratini. That's what I figured, but sometimes, I got to go based on what they say, and a lot of times it's not right. Then batting second, DHing Yanier Diaz. And then batting third in the 8-hole, center fielder Jake Myers. But again, I got like 5-10 screens up, so sometimes it's hard to remember. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes, obviously, within the first hour and a half, 30 to 50, if we can get the algorithm to hit the volume. And obviously, we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. We're at 10:90 to go to hit the goal. Top of the fifth, 0-0. Let's go, baby. And I got the Houston Cougars and the Florida Gators on for the men's championship, and the Gators have cut into the lead. Now it's only 1-point lead by the Cougs, 56-55. With a few minutes to go. Logan Gilbert still out there wheeling and dealing. Let's go, baby. Yeah, but I don't need you to be able to put those things in there, Wheelbite. Because you have to understand everyone's watching the game at a different pace, depending on where you live and where you're watching. Cable, satellite, MLB TV, extra innings, a streaming link. So if you end up putting that in before I do the broadcast, so don't do that. Because again, if you end up doing it before I even say it or before other people see it, you're kind of ruining the broadcast, my guy. You have to realize not everyone will be watching it on the level that you're watching it on. So again, with streaming links, again, it can really be a factor with internet speed, how you're watching the game, and depending on where you live. So top of the fifth, 0-0, Astros and Mariners. Next up in the box is Yanier Diaz. takes a strike. Behind in the count 0-1 to Diaz from Logan Gilbert. 74 pitches for Logan Gilbert so far. 0-1 pitch. Chopper towards third base, foul. It also kind of depends on who you're watching. You know, are you watching the Astro broadcast or the Mariner broadcast? You know, things can line up very many different ways. So, chop that one. So he's behind the count now, 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, very close game here with less than 5 minutes to go. 58-56 Houston. Chopper, right to JP, throw to first, 2 away. Up is Jake Myers as he crushes that one, fading foul behind in the count 0-1. No problem. I'm glad that Reflect was able to, do that and obviously help send some love your way. You deserve it. You deserve the best. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, obviously with different streams, loyalty is pretty rare. Obviously there's going to be people that have, favorite streamers and whatnot. And, some people come and some people go and some people will never come back. And some people will come back, a few months or a few years later, but those people that will stay consistent, that's family. And you definitely are family. It's all about consistency. Just like in relationships, consistency is king. Top of the 5th, 0-0, Astros and Mariners. Logan Gilbert is wheeling and dealing. Wesneski is wheeling and dealing. 5 Ks for Gilbert, Wesneski with 3. And what are we at? 82 pitches in for Logan Gilbert so far. We need to find our offense, and I think we will once the starting pitchers go out. 1-2 pitch. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Would I draft Diggs this year in fantasy? No, I would not. He could end up being, somewhat decent, but I try to shy away from me players, instead of team players. And he's kind of injury prone, lately. And, he had his little run with the Minneapolis Miracle and had a good run with Josh Allen before he burnt that bridge. Never really fully panned out there with the Texans with the injuries. So, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't draft him. And that's strike 3 looking. There we go. Nice job by Logan Gilbert. I love it, baby. Nice job, Logan. Way to bring that electricity, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th and see who's up next for the Mariners. Can we get some offense, please? Leading off for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th, 0-for-1, right fielder Luke Rayleigh. Batting second, 0-for-1 with a first baseman Rowdy Tellez. And batting third, 0-for-1 in the 7-hole, third baseman Dylan Moore. Let's go Mariners. We'll find out here shortly who's going to be champ, if it'll be the Gators or the Cougars. And I can't wait to be able to listen to more of the tracks after I'm done with the show. I'm going to end up listening to all of them and then get the kind of playlist ready. But, we got 3 that we're going to play here today. And then there's a few, that may or may not fit. based on kind of the sound, but I'll probably still play them anyways at some point, but I'll try to find the ones that I feel have the best vibes and then kind of go from there. So, but shout out to my friend, Brooks Beats, you the man. Never give up on your dreams, man. There was a lot of people that, didn't believe in me, but I didn't care, as long as you believe in yourself, you can make shit happen. And again, you have to have a strong work ethic, you have to grind, you have to have the belief. Of course, you have to have some natural talent, whether, it's speaking or beat making or whatever you're really, really good at. Everyone is great at something. You just have to be able to find your lane. And then once you find what you're really good at, you stick with it. Easier said than done. But again, dreams can come true if you work hard for them. And if dreams were easy, everyone would do them. And this is just from the sessions. There's other stuff like down the road, I'll have him send me, maybe some stuff that, me and him worked on, like really like strong, like hip hop stuff. And it'll sound like Kanye beats or Snoop beats or Kendrick Lamar beats or Drake beats. Like, you'll be shocked. Like, there's some stuff there that, you can almost imagine like Drake, or, Kendrick Lamar or whoever, like rapping over the beat. Like, it's that good. Like, the guy is incredibly talented. Bottom of the fifth, Wesneski on the mound, Luke Raley in the box. But there's a few bangers, man. And again, I don't know how many he has total, in his collection. I would assume over 100. So 1-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch, little chopper, throw to first, 1 away. Yeah, we'll be doing the NFL draft. We'll do day 1 and day 2. Probably not doing day 3 for rounds 5 through 7. I'll watch it, but I won't probably do a stream for it. But we'll see. Down goes Luke Raley. Next up, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. Wake up, Rowdy. We need you. And so far, the Astros have no runs, no hits, no errors, and the Mariners have no runs, 1 error, and 1 hit, and that's it. And the only guy that has the hit for us is Randy Arozarena earlier in the matchup. So something's got to give. And then we got Houston up by 1, 62-61 with about 2 minutes to go. And I feel like, just these 3, are only the tip of the iceberg. They're like some of the stuff you'll be like, oh my God. Like, and again, Busta Rhymes, the famous rapper, actually like emailed him, through like the SoundCloud. Sometimes you got to be careful though, because when rappers hear, people that are kind of undiscovered yet, they try to take, those things, and kind of claim them as their own instead of like, necessarily like paying someone for their hard work. Just like when you get people that are on TV or podcasts that watch people on YouTube and Twitch and try to steal their material. People love to try to get freebies and whatnot. But, that happened a couple of years ago. And if that wasn't a sign that he should still keep going, I don't know what was. And I told him, dude, if Busta Rhymes reached out to you, like legit, even if it didn't, follow up to, a 3rd or 4th email, just the simple fact that a famous person reached out to you and said, I like your stuff. That should mean something, that you're on the right path. So, and that's a big swing and a miss, and Rowdy is out. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up, third baseman Dylan Moore. And it's more than just getting a beat sold to a famous rapper or singer. You could have it, go into a commercial or a movie or, you got to think, a podcast. There's so many ways that you could end up using a, 1 to 3 minute beat, and they could, cut it down to like 30 seconds for a commercial or something of that nature, And I told him that years ago, and I feel like we both have that creativity in us, and that's why I bond with him. Original and having that creativity and showing that originality. Nice job by Demo with that full base knock there. Demo's been hot for us, thank God. Nice job, Demo. Nice little base knock single. Next up, second baseman Ryan Bliss. Throw to first from Wesneski to keep Demo honest at first as the crowd boos in Seattle. Oh my God, back. See ya! You gotta be kidding me, Ryan Bliss. Is it his birthday? Hallelujah. See ya! 2-0 Mariners. And the Muggsy Bogue Spud Webb of the Mariners delivers. See ya! 2-0 M's. Way to bring that electricity, Ryan Bliss. I was not expecting that. Tridents up, baby. Let's go. Oh my. And again, we needed someone to step up defensively, but we needed someone also to step up offensively. Nice job, Ryan. Way to be. Way to earn your keep. Tridents up, baby. Awesome. Hell yeah. 2-0 Mariners, baby. Let's go. Next up is J.P. Crawford. That's the electricity that we were waiting for. And I know, for baseball fans, sometimes it's like you're going through the motions, just like with the Kraken in hockey or the NBA, where, teams are just kind of going back and forth, but you're not really getting anything that's happening. You got to give the pitchers credit. And obviously the hitters have been struggling. But at some point, someone's going to make a play. And way to be, Ryan Bliss. You're the man. Pitch is inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Go. Little slow dribbler. Throw to first. And that's out number 3. But guess what? The damage is done. And Ryan Bliss comes to play. Tridents up, baby. Hell yeah. That's the electricity that we needed, baby. And it's like we've had such like weird games throughout the year. We've had games where we're just getting our ass kicked right out of the gates and we have to try to come back and win, right? We've had games where we started off hot early on with like Julio and Cal with home runs, but nothing after the first like 3 or 4 innings. And obviously really slow start, for both of these teams. I mean, the Astros haven't even got a hit yet. So thank God Logan Gilbert has been wheeling and dealing. But not only is Logan Gilbert doing great, but now we're getting the bat to help him out and to help him get this dub. And the game's not over yet, but I'm telling you, without Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker, this is not the same team anymore. Again, they're going to be definitely more beatable than they were in years past. And again, I'm not saying that this game is going to be over. I'm not saying that we're going to sweep this team, but we're definitely going to have a good chance to compete. And again, the Rangers might be the best team in the division right now, but it's kind of a 3-way tie. I feel with, I'm not going to include the Angels, and we might be in last right now, but we'll work our way up. The Angels are the worst, in my opinion. But then the Mariners, the A's, and the Astros, we're going to punch each other in the mouth. And it's going to be a battle. And, hopefully we'll be able to end up getting second place, because I don't know if we can end up, beating the Rangers unless they have some big injuries, down the road. But even if we can get, close, to 88 wins, maybe we can end up getting a wild card. But so far, so good. Took us a little while to get there, but 2-0 Mariners with a Ryan Bliss 2-run jack. Jacob in the building. What's good? Next up, right fielder Mauricio Dubon. Let's go Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Chopper to Dubon to third base. Dylan Moore, throw to first. Got him. 1 away. Nice job, Demo. And where are we at on likes? Have we gotten to 20 yet? Got to get to that number. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And I think we need, one more to get to 20? Yeah, we need 1 more. So if you are in the room and have, there we go. We got to the goal. We're at 20. Now we're in the algorithm. Thank you so much. And we're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go to hit the goal. And we got the Cougars and the Gators in the championship for the men's college basketball championship, and it's coming down to the wire. 64-63. This might be one of the first times that Florida actually has had the lead, and even though it's only by one, that's exactly what the Gators have been hoping for. But if we're actually being honest, the Cougars have dominated this whole game. And this is one of the first leads, if not the first lead, for the Gators at this point. So Houston has controlled the tempo, and they've been the better team in the first half. And it looks like maybe even in the second half as well. Biggest lead was Houston by 12, and then Florida's biggest lead is by 2. We have 30 seconds to go. Oh, my. Yeah, Gators are doing, yeah, true. Uh-oh. Altuve, bye! See ya! Jose Altuve goes yard. Uh-oh. Logan Gilbert, the Jose Altuve solo jack, third of the year. I got distracted with the Cougars and the Gators here in the championship since we're in the last few seconds. 2-1 Mariners. But hey, at least it was only a solo jack, not a 3-run jack that Brian Wu gave up to Yastrzemski. So we'll take a solo dinger. It happens. And he hung that right over the plate, and Altuve crushed it. 64-63. Gators up by 1. I drooled on myself there with my drink for a second. Two-0 pitch to Isaac Paredes. Logan Gilbert still on the mound. Finish strong, Logan. Yeah, you can't say that fully. Again, they were not very good to start the year, and then they found a way to win the division. And they've won the division, pretty much every year for almost the last 10 years. So when the Rangers won the World Series, they were a wild card team. So, but again, with no Tucker and no Bregman, it does kind of feel that they might not be the same kind of contender as they were. But it's still too early to say that. Right now the Rangers look like the best team in the division, and then you got 3 average or below average teams in the Astros, Mariners, and the Athletics, and then you got the Angels as probably the worst team, even though the Mariners might be stuck in that position record-wise. But again, once we start getting our guys healthy, Robles, George Kirby, Troy Taylor, Matt Brash, we will not finish in 5th or 4th. The lowest the Mariners will finish in is 3rd, but I'm hoping 2nd behind the Rangers. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3-1 count. And we got about 19 seconds to go. Gators up by 1. Wow. Three-one pitch. Big swing and a miss. Yeah, but if Florida ends up winning this will be just like what Houston did to Duke. Houston was up, Houston was up, Houston was up, and then somehow, some way, Florida crawled back. But I think that most people thought, that Florida would be, pretty consistent to be able to maintain maybe a 4 to 10 point lead throughout the whole, thing. But the opposite happened, and sometimes that happens when you have Uncle Mo on your side. There it is, chops that one foul. Count still remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. This free throw there. Season free throw percentage by Denzel Aberdeen, 70%. Cover your eyes. Free throw is good. Gators up by 2. And a nice punch out there by Logan Gilbert. Let's go. 2 away. Nice job, Logan. Way to beat Walter. Attaboy. First pitch is inside to Yordan Alvarez. 1-0 count. Top of the sixth, 2-1 Seattle. 2-0 pitch. Pitch is low and outside. 3 balls and no strikes. 2-run jack from Ryan Bliss and a solo dinger by Jose Altuve. So usually, an inning before, typically pitchers go out. Sometimes they get a little tired and they start to lose a little control. Usually in the fifth, if they can't get to that sixth inning before something big happens. But we knew we were going to get some hits and runs at some point. And, sometimes you got to wait for starting pitching to go out. Sometimes it happens in the fifth and sixth with the starters. And now we'll see if Logan Gilbert ends up going out or if they have a little pep talk here. Next up is Christian Walker. And we're down to the wire here with the Cougars down by 2. 10 seconds and counting. Good defense by the Gators. Are the Cougars going to be crazy and try to go for 3 to win? Oh. Wow, what a fumbled the bag right there. They're going to lose. They lost, and the Gators win. Wow, that was a terrible. If you're trying to go for 3, and then you end up having to drop the ball because you know that if you touch it, it's going to be a travel. Why not just go for the tie instead of trying to go for the win with that stifling defense from the Gators? And you lose the game by not being coached up properly there at the end. Wow. Go for 2. Why are you trying to go for the 3, especially when you knew that defense was going to be that stifling? And then the guy had to jump up, let the ball go, because if he would have went down with it, it would have been traveling, and the time ran out. Wow. Terrible execution there at the end. And again, Houston ended up beating Duke, right? And they thought that they were going to win this game, and they were in full control until pretty much the last maybe 3-4 minutes. And then Florida came back just like Houston did against Duke, gave them a little bit of their own medicine. But again, they deserve to lose if you're going to go for 3 right here with the stifling defense. And you got nobody to blame but yourself right there. That was very stupid execution. Wow, unbelievable. Oh, Logan. 5.2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 99 pitches. Almost was able to complete the job. Now Trent Thornton, has given up a couple home runs, within the first early games in this Mariner 2025 season. Hopefully he doesn't give one up here. One-0 pitch. Throw to first. And there we go. We get out of the inning. Damage was done by that Altuve homer. 2-1 Mariners. Let's go. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th and see who's up next here for Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, in the leadoff spot, 0 for 2 with a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0 for 2, DHing Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Polo. You were coming into the game batting .450, but I know you're nursing a hip and a knee. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a K, left fielder, the guy that got us our first hit early in the matchup, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Mariners. Yeah, I don't think anyone predicted Houston winning, and they all, if they just would have, finished based on how they started, they would have, made history. I mean, they were ahead and dominated the whole game besides like the last couple minutes. And sometimes that's what happens, Wish Logan could have got out of that, but we still got a 2-1 lead. And again, thankful that it was just a solo jack from Altuve. And prayers up and shout out to Brian Bliss, man. Wow. We don't expect home runs from him, let alone base knocks that often. So SDL in the building. What's good, brother? Yeah, man, it happens, man. Sports is one of those things, hard to predict sometimes. It's not going to be something that, because sometimes you end up having weird years where weird things happen. Slow dribbler, throw to first, and got him. One away. It's like in fantasy football last year, right? I normally, finish in the top 3 in any league that I've ever done. I usually make the most moves. I do the most research, and I ended up being terrible last season. And again, it kind of ruined football for me. And so even someone, like myself, that, does all the film, does all the articles, follows every player, every fucking team. And sometimes, you make wrong decisions, in the draft, sometimes it's bad luck, but a lot of times if you fuck up in the draft, you're going to fuck up in your season. And then if you have injuries on top of that, then you're really fucked. So, I still feel that I'm very, very talented at fantasy, but, again, it was one of those things that maybe needed to happen to me to kind of, slap me in the face and say, hey, you've been very, very good up to this point, but, sometimes you got to learn how to lose and how it feels, and not to make those same mistakes again, if you end up being in that situation again. And I won't. So popped up into left field by Polo, 2 away. But I think everyone, no matter how good you are at something, sometimes you got to learn a lesson, and no one is ever going to be 100% right all the time. Next up is left fielder Randy Arozarena. I mean, even the most intelligent minds end up picking or making, the wrong decision or the wrong team or the wrong pick, Popped up, and Altuve is there. Very quick inning there, end of the 6th. Mariners up 2-1. Brian Bliss with a 2-run homer. Jose Altuve with a solo dinger. And we'll see what happens here in this sprint in these last 3 innings. Let's go to the top of the 7th. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop, Jeremy Pena. Batting second, 0 for 2, catcher, Victor Caratini. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, DHing Yanier Diaz. Let's go, Mariners. 5 more likes to 30, good to hear, and let's go. Now, and it also shows you, that females, if they know how to play, and and actually watch, that they can be just as good as any guy that's been playing fantasy for 10 to 15 years or better. And again, I taught her how to play, when she first came in, and I told her kind of like technique on what to do. And again, I told her, certain things that I wouldn't really tell everyone. And, she ended up, winning a championship, like I think in her 2nd year, and got I think DK and Justin Jefferson when they were rookies. And that really will help, a squad if you draft really well. And then obviously her stacking Cincinnati Bengal players with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Yeah, the Bengals weren't a good team, but those 2 players were like the top guys all year. And again, if they actually had a defense, they would have made the playoffs. So it shows you, if you draft correctly and you pair up and you double up and triple up, with like Detroit Lion players or whatever is hot at the moment, and those guys can ball out, just like a couple years ago when I did the David Montgomery and Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sometimes when you end up picking correctly and those guys luckily don't get hurt, it can really do damage to the other teams and you can rack in a lot of points. So, Zini is our only two-time winner on the channel, and she knows football. And normally she just follows the Eagles. She used to live in Philly, lives in like Wisconsin now. But now, since watching this channel, she follows a lot of the good players in the league and has become very intelligent in the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And again, it shows you, anybody, male or female, can dominate fantasy as long as you put in the work. Now we got Thornton on the mound, to Jeremy Pena behind in the count now 0-2. Little line drive to Ryan Bliss. 1 away. Down goes Jeremy Pena. Next up, catcher Victor Caratini. First pitch in there from Thornton to Victor Caratini, in there for a strike looking. 0-1 count. Top of the 7th, 2-1 Mariners. It'd be great if we could end up, getting the dub here today, and if we can find a way to get the dub tomorrow and, somehow, some way get a sweep, or at least win 2 out of 3, could help us get back into the standings. And we definitely need it, especially with Victor Robles, being out. Right now it's about 10 to 14 days initially. And supposedly he didn't break a bone in that wrist or that forearm, which is shocking because I thought he did. And then, it's supposedly the left shoulder is the one that got separated. So prayers up for Victor Robles. Hopefully that he'll be able to come back, within 2 weeks to a month. But it may be longer, based on the MRI. Could end up being 2 months. But hopefully it ends up being sometime this season. And if he's out for the whole year, obviously that'll give opportunities for Dominic Canzone and others to try to fill in the gaps. But we need Victor if we want to be able to try to make a wild card. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Thornton to Caratini. Two-one Kraken. Who got the goals for the Kraken so far? And then down goes Caratini. Nice job, Thornton. There we go. Bye-bye, Victor. And he screams in frustration. 2 away. Next up, DHing Yanier Diaz. Maddie unassisted, and your boy, Montour. Nice. Hell yeah. Go Kraken. Popped up on the first pitch. Diaz fading foul. Behind in the count 0-1. We're at 10:90 to go. Second pitch in there for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1 Mariners. Top of the 7th with 2 outs. Nobody on. Trent Thornton on the mound. And Yanier Diaz in the box. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count now 1-2. From Yanier Diaz to Trent Thornton. And Trent Thornton is a Lauren lookalike. When Lauren pops into the room, he looks exactly like Trent Thornton. Like to the T. Like they could be brothers, like twins. And got him! Nice job by Trent. He struggled in the early part of the year where he was giving up home runs in 2 different games, and I was losing faith in him. But in these last couple opportunities, he's played well. So it looks like we're getting the old Trent, not the bad Trent, and that's good. Nice job, Trent. And I know emotions will be very, very high. Go to the bottom of the 7th and see who's up for the Mariners to see if we can get some extra insurance. Next up for the Mariners, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. 0 for 2. Let's make it 1 for 3. Batting second, 0 for 2, right fielder Luke Raley. Luke, we need a nuke. And batting third, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, and a little suspect on defense today. probably the worst player on the team right now, batting under 100, Rowdy Tellez. And I hope he can get it going. Otherwise, we're going to have to put someone else, in that position. Facts. Let's go, M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with Sessions. Lots of great original beats here from the Pacific Northwest. And again, we'll be having them on the channel moving forward, maybe for the rest of my life. Shout out to my boy. You work hard and you end up staying original and you staying true to yourself, great things will happen. Beautiful little look outside of the stadium with the big Ferris wheel. Whenever I stay in Seattle, when we would stay in the hotel, we would be, way up there, 50th, 60th floor, and you could, in the distance, see that, they're at the pier and obviously they're on the little boardwalk area at Pike's Place, and it's a beautiful scene at night, let me tell you. There's not very many places that I think I could live, other than this general area that I live in here now, kind of near Nike headquarters and whatnot in the burbs. But if I didn't live here in Oregon, I think the only other, places I would want to probably live or at least, visit, Eugene. But I think I would put Seattle as my number one choice. And then probably Eugene after that. Eugene would be cool during like football season, but I don't think I would want to live there year round. Seattle is beautiful where I could live there year round, like where I'm at right now. But I love visiting Seattle. It's a very beautiful city. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Mariners. Wesneski still out there, 77 pitches in, looking like a Cy Young candidate. We make everyone look good. And a 1-2 pitch to Cal. Cal crushes that one, fading foul. Come on, Cal. One-two pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. All right. Big swing and a miss. A little sweeping slider there on Cal Raleigh as Paisley comes in here to hang out with Dad. She misses Daddy, so she's in here now. Love you, Paisley. Okay, Cal, we still love you. Got to be a little bit more consistent, though, but you'll get there. Next up, right fielder Luke Raley. Luke, first pitch, popped up. That should be an easy out for Altuve. 2 away. Be a little bit more patient in the box, Luke. I know everyone's anticipating that first pitch strike and you go for a moonshot, but pitchers are getting smarter when they play the Mariners. They know they can throw garbage at the first pitch, outside, inside, or low, and people are going to swing. And unfortunately, the Mariners keep taking the bait. Next up, first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. Popped up. And in shallow center, what a play by Jake Myers. And that's 3 up and 3 down. Yeah, I love SZA too. Again, if you end up listening to Kendrick and SZA and the Black Panther soundtrack, I still, All the Stars is still one of my favorite songs. And again, as soon as I hear it, I think of Chadwick Boseman. And I think like, again, there's, certain movies that are in that kind of, Marvel superhero, type of thing. And there are certain ones with like the Avengers and Iron Man that were like really popular. But I don't really know if people thought that, Deadpool was going to turn out the way that it did, as well as Black Panther. And to this day, still one of my favorite movies. And on top of that, I feel like the soundtrack for Black Panther is one of the best out of like superhero movies. The soundtrack with the actors and the actual movie, just putting it all together, was a classic. And cancer stinks. And I wish Chadwick Boseman was still alive, but Kendrick and SZA definitely cooked on all the stars, and it's still one of my favorite songs to this day. All right, let's go to the top of the 8th. 2-1 Mariners. Next up for the Astros, 0-for-2 with a K, center fielder Jake Myers. Great catch there in the outfield to rob Rowdy Tellez of maybe a fucking base hit. We needed that. Batting second, right fielder Mauricio Dubon. And then back at the top of the order, second baseman Jose Altuve. Really the only individual that did damage to us so far with a solo dinger right in the zone from Logan Gilbert. And we're still up by 1, but we're not a team that's really built to win 2-1, 3-2, or 4-3. So hopefully we get a little bit of extra offense and insurance. You'll love it, man. I mean, like I said, and it's not really one of those songs where Kendrick is rapping and he's like dissing Drake and it's all like in your face and aggressive. It's just kind of like when you watch the movie, you'll remember that song. And then if you just listen to the song, the melody in it, SZA with the hook, it's perfect. There's nothing forced about the track. And it's one of my favorite, the little collabs between the two of them. Judah in the building. All right, Gregory Santos enters the game. Let's go, Gregory. Congratulations to the Florida Gators on being the men's college basketball champions, as well as the UConn Huskies with Paige Bueckers, finally coming back for another year and getting redemption. And, again, you work hard for your dreams, and you can make shit happen. Myers crushes that one. Oh my, just foul. Holy hell. That could have tied the game up right there. Great hands by that dad right there. Santos, be a little bit more careful there, Gregory. You're making Mariner fans nervous, Gregory. That was about, 5 feet away from being a homer? And I ended up watching the AEW pay-per-view last night with Odin in New York. It was fantastic. Little slow dribbler right up the gut there to Julio for a base knock. Triple threat with Kenny Omega and Ricochet was insane. Swerve Strickland and Moxley in the main event at the end. Insane. Pretty good pay-per-view considering it's AEW, not WWE. It was solid. The last 2 AEW pay-per-views that me and Odin have watched together have actually been really good. All right, next up for the Astros, right fielder Mauricio Dubon. Oh, Dubon showing bunt. 1-0 count. In the top of the 8th, 2-1 Mariners. Santos on the mound, Dubon in the box. Come on, Mariners. Let's get out of this inning, baby. How are you, Judah? Bunt attempt. Right to end first. Tag him. There we go. 1 away. Moves the runner over. Dubon sacrificed to first. Myers to second. And next up, second baseman, public enemy number 1, Jose Altuve. And Jose Altuve will always be the most booed player in the MLB. I don't think there will be anybody more booed than him in every stadium in baseball. And that'll stick with him until he retires. But even with the boos, he's a damn good player. He's got 3 home runs already to start 2025, and especially with the exit to Bregman to the Red Sox, as well as Kyle Tucker to the Cubs, they're going to need to rely on Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, and Jeremy Pena even more. But I think that, Pena has always been kind of the role player, and Altuve, he can get you singles, doubles, triples, home runs, and obviously Jordan will get you the singles, doubles, and home runs as well, but Altuve is kind of the leader. And again, you definitely got to be able to pitch to him a certain way, otherwise he'll do damage to you. A wild pitch from Santos. Holy hell. Now Myers goes to third. Come on, Santos. The last thing that we need is someone to be wild like that. Where's Troy Taylor when you need him? Where's Matt Brash when you need him? Santos is starting to get a reputation of being a little wild, and not in a good way. Yeah, Cal's framing needs to be better this year. I will agree with that. There has been some games where, he's just kind of let the pitch, and again, in last year's stats, he actually was one of the better catchers in framing. But I would agree, this year, he hasn't been framing up to the same type, of standard that he had in previous years. I mean, you're not going to necessarily get all the calls when you frame it, but sometimes you will when it's like 50-50, Cal needs to be better defensively and offensively. He hasn't lived up to the contract just yet, and that's obviously coming from a diehard, hardcore fan. Me and Reflect both, have the love and the respect, but we got to call guys out when they're not doing it. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. This looks like it's leading to a walk. Exactly. Don't let this game slip away. Especially with a guy like Santos and Thornton and these guys that are kind of wild, you're going to have to help those guys out. You just can't, catch the ball the same way that you're catching from Logan Gilbert. You're going to have to do more for the guys in the pen that suck or that are, not really consistent. You have to help those guys out and try to, get the ump to give you a call. That's kind of borderline. 100% agree. You just can't just let it happen. Just whatever happens. You gotta do a better job. Next up is third baseman Isaac Paredes. Pitch is outside, and holy hell, Santos is reminding me of Taylor Saucedo, except he's a right-handed version. Holy hell. Finally tries to frame a pitch. Top of the 8th, 2-1 Mariners. Runners at second and third with 1 out. 2-0 pitch from Santos to Paredes. Come on, Mariners. Finish strong. There we go. 2 balls and 1 strike. Popped up. Center field. Julio's there. There we go. And Julio throws home. Nice. Great throw.
Oh, my gosh.
Great throw by Julio. That definitely would have scored a run. 100%. Nice job, J-Rod. Need that defense out of there, Julio. Next up, left fielder, Jordan Alvarez. Got to get away. Got to be able to find a way, and I wouldn't trust Santos pitching to him. You don't bring in the closer yet. You bring in Gabe Spire. That's who you bring in. He's been our best pen guy. That's who I would bring in. And then you bring in Andres Munoz in the 9th. But we'll see who they bring in. But obviously, if you're doing a lefty on a lefty, they say that usually is something that they don't like to do. But I mean, to me, if you are a badass mid reliever or just pitcher in general, it shouldn't matter. Lefty on lefty, righty on righty, doesn't matter. You're going to get the job done. Oh, I know, Paisley. Daddy's almost done. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. What do we add on the likes? And we're at, what, 10? 90 to go to hit the goal. Let's go, baby. 2-1 Mariners, top of the 8th. 2-run blast by Ryan Bliss. Solo dinger by Jose Altuve. And that's pretty much the game. And we're 4 likes away from 30. Let's get there, baby. I know, Paisley. I love you. Paisley needs a hug and a kiss or something here. So Gabe Spire was walking out, and then they decided to keep Santos out there. Hopefully this is not a mistake. Holy hell. Now there's bases loaded with 2 outs. Oh, my God. So they intentionally walk Yordan Alvarez, and now we have Christian Walker.
Oh, my God.
Why not bring in Gabe Spire? What the hell is going on here? Jesus. And the thing is Santos is so wild. If Cal doesn't catch like a pitch that's wide, it's going to bring in a run, just being off a wild pitch. So, oh, God. Top of the 8th. Bases loaded now. Walker in the box. Santos on the mound. Please, God. Oh, God. And there it is. And just like that, 3-2 Astros. Terrible. Should have brought in Gabe Spire. And that's Dan Wilson, being Scott Service all over again. You don't have a pitcher like Santos in. Wow. Terrible. Oh. Might have just lost that game right there. That's why you need to have a capable third baseman like Eugenio Suarez, and you let him walk. Next up, shortstop, Jeremy Pena. Terrible. Yeah, Demo, you fumbled it. Demo fumbled the bag. Now runners at first and second, down by 1. And chances of the Mariners coming back and tying this or winning, probably not very likely. Should have went with Gabe Spire. Because you could have intentionally walked Yordan Alvarez and then went against Christian Walker. Lefty versus righty. 2-1 count. Runners at first and second. Top of the 8th. 2 outs. 2 on. 3-2 Astros. Brutal. I know, honey. Hold on. Should have brought in Gabe Spire. He's our best bullpen guy. That's Dan Wilson's fault. And again, he's starting to remind me of Scott. Not good. Bad decision maker. And I know Demo fumbled the bag there, but I think that if Gabe was in, he would have gotten the out. Little dribbler. Demo doesn't fumble the bag there, but too little, too late. Throw to first. We get out of the inning, but the damage is already done. Go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 Astros. Now we got to pray that he can make up for it. 1 for 2 with a run. Third baseman, Demo Dylan Moore. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run. 2 RBIs and a 2-run blast, Ryan Bliss. And batting third, 0 for 2 shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Come on, Dan Wilson. Holy hell. could have thrown in the Pat McAfee lookalike. He would have got the job done. He's our best closer, period, or mid-reliever. The guy that I trust the most. Oh, brutal. Yeah. Oh, man. Being a fan of a Pacific Northwest team, regardless of, what it is in Oregon and Washington, maybe besides the Oregon Ducks, it's tough, and again, it's not like Oregon has been super dominant for, year in and year out for like the last, 25 years. They definitely, kind of got on the map with Joey Harrington, previous to that in 94, with Kenny Wheaton with the pick six, against the Huskies, so we've been gradually getting better and better. But for the Mariners and many other teams, man, especially the Seattle teams, with the Kraken and the Seahawks and the Mariners, if you are a Seattle fan, top to bottom, it's tough. I live in Oregon here, so I got some Oregon teams that, I root for like the Blazers and the Ducks. So I'm not all Seattle, but definitely rep the Mariners and the Kraken. But man, it just stinks when you see, players fumble the bag like Demo. You see managers make the wrong decision. And Dan Wilson is not good enough to get us to the promised land. He's a bridge coach. He's a bridge manager. He's who we have now, and hopefully we can get someone better down the road. But his managing in these first 10, 11 games has not been good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, holy hell. Now we need a miracle. Come on, Demo. And at least we have some of the hitters that have been good recently. Let's see if Dylan Moore can make up for fumbling that bag. First pitch to Demo outside, 1-0 count. Scott on the mound coming in, Demo in the box. One 0 pitch from Taylor Scott to Demo on the corner. 2-0 count, should have been probably 1-1. Little check swing there, got a piece. Popped up. That one is fading foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Astros. Nobody on, nobody out. 3-2 pitch from Taylor Scott to Dylan Moore. Demo crushes it towards third base. Foul.
You dream of heaven.
3-2 pitch. Pitches outside, and he walked him. We'll take that. And now we're having, Miles Mastroboni come in for Bliss? Why? So the guy that hit the home run, we're going to replace him. the only guy that gave us any offense, and you're going to bring in Miles Mastrobuoni? Holy hell. We might have to start firing Dan Wilson immediately. Jesus Christ. Really? What are we doing? Decision making for Dan Wilson is like I'm almost staring into a mirror and I'm looking at Scott Service all over again. What the hell is he doing? Nothing more frustrating than having bad coaching, bad managing. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Astros, runner at first, nobody out. 1-0 pitch to Miles Mastrobuoni. Michael in the building, what's good? Pitch is low at the knees, 2-0 count from Taylor Scott to Miles Mastrobuoni. Pitch from Scott to Mastrobuoni. Demo with a stolen bag attempt. Safe. There we go. And obviously, Demo fumbled that line drive at third that ended up bringing in 2, as well as the decision of not bringing in Gabe Spire for Santos for Dan Wilson. So they both kind of have made big mistakes here late. So let's see what we can get here. Got Miles Mastrobuoni on the brink of getting walked on a 3-0 count. Take a walk. There we go. Pitches inside. And Miles Mastrobuoni going to first. And now we got runners at first and second with no outs. We might actually come back and tie or win this game. Maybe. Still pissed that we had Miles in there for Bliss. Why the hell would we do that? Next up, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. 0 for 2. Make it 1 for 3. What's good? What's good? Yeah, my boy Brooks Beats, my friend, that's the beat maker, here in Oregon. He's been working on a 5-year project, and did a social media post saying it's almost done. And I told him if you want me to help, promote and use your stuff on my channel for just background music because he makes beats, that I would do so if it was okay with you and with him. And then he ended up sending me the album and whatnot, and we're gonna use that for background music on the channel, maybe for forever. So better than using like the 3 or 4 default tracks that I've been using for like the last year. And we've done 3 tracks tonight, and then I'm going to listen to the rest to see which ones will kind of fit, because he does kind of like rap, hip hop, R&B. He can do like EDM, reggae. There's a little bit of everything, electronica. It kind of just depends on his vibe and whatnot. Super talented. And again, it's definitely better than just having the same 1 or 2 or 3, default ones that we did. So appreciate you. I always try to root for my friends to win, and out of all the people in my friend group, definitely the most talented one, I felt was like me and him, and he's on the brink of trying to get to a good point. Busta Rhymes reached out to him a couple years ago, liking his beats, and I told him if that's not a sign to keep going, I don't know what the fuck is. And I'm proud of him. Got to keep grinding. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Astros. Runners at first and second with no outs. 1-1 pitch to JP. Shows bunt again. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. And an incredibly talented individual. Makes everything off the beat machine and off the guitar and musical instruments himself. So, and I'll be doing everything on the Sessions beat album on the channel. So I started off with just 3 tracks here today. Another bunt attempt by JP. Throw to first, moves the runner over, and like I say, bunting is definitely key for the Mariners. Nice to see them do it. This track on the Sessions album is It's called Heaven. It's probably my favorite out of the ones I've listened to so far. And then we have another one, Better Off. And then the other one is Echo. And it's all 100% him. And we used to make beats together back in the day and, you know, do the little freestyling and whatnot. The good old days. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Astros. Runners at second and third with one out. And it looks like the Astros are going to make a pitching change. And next up is going to be Julio. Let's go Mariners. Let's go, baby. Let's find a way. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with a K, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. And we're going to definitely need a good performance here out of Julio late. You know, let's get it, baby. Let's go, J-Rod. Try to ends up. Bring that electricity. We need it, especially after Dan Wilson and Dylan Moore fumbled the bag late, especially when we had that 2-1 lead. And it's one thing to give up a run late, you know, off an error, you know, but to give up 2, rough, you know. And again, we just lost Victor Robles, and hopefully it doesn't look like it's going to be for the whole season, as everyone saw, you know, on SportsCenter or on your socials, where he went all out 50 miles an hour into the net. And then, you know, I thought he broke his wrist or his forearm, but it looks like he separated his shoulder. Timetable is, you know, about 2 weeks, and then they'll reevaluate. He might be out a month, maybe 2 months, maybe the season. We're going to kind of wait and see. But things have not really been really nice for us so far. You know, it's the worst start that we've had in the first 10 games in probably in, you know, 8 to 10 years. Like, we haven't been this bad to start off the first 10 games, you know, and since like 2017, 2018. You know, we're much better than 3-7, but no George Kirby, you know, no Matt Brash, no Troy Taylor, and that definitely hurts us quite a bit. Yeah, if I wasn't doing, you know, this, it would probably be, you know, beat making or like video game streaming, you know, if I wasn't doing sports. So he's incredibly talented. Chief with a tenor, appreciate you. And we'll be playing a lot of the stuff and stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And I'll show you some of the stuff that me and him made back in the day when we used to party and whatnot. And, you know, some of the stuff is like bangers. Like, we could, you know, drink some beers and party and come up with a radio beat, you know, that you could hear, like, you know, Kendrick or Drake or anyone like rapping over in maybe about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, some of the stuff is just incredible. He is a very talented mind. He started playing like piano at like 5, you know, so he's a little bit of a prodigy himself. And, you know, again, I told him, you know, he's seen the success that I've had, but again, I've had to work very hard to get to this point, and I'm nowhere near, you know, the finish line. So we got a long ways to go. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Astros. Runners at second and third. 1-1 pitch to Julio. Check swing. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Appreciate you, Chief. Let me know what you want to do for photos. We can do some food photos at the end for you if you'd like. But definitely one of the best beat makers, you know, here on the West Coast in the Pacific Northwest, and he's in Oregon here with me. 2-1 pitch. Julio crushes that one. Line drive. Wow. Exit velo was like a billion there. Hopefully that didn't knock somebody in the head. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But, you know, it was one of those things. He made a post. He's been working on this Sessions beat album for like 5 years. And, you know, he made a post on like Instagram this morning. And, you know, I reached out to him and, you know, I asked him, you know, do you want me to promote your stuff on my channel? You know, I need some background music and whatnot. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Julio. 2 away. And it's kind of a win-win for both. You know, I can promote his stuff. We can have better background music for our shows. It's a win-win, you know, and out of everyone that I've ever met in my friend group, he is the most talented. We always kind of felt that both of us would be the ones that would succeed out of everyone else. Next up, for the Mariners, DHing coming back from the injury with the knee and the hip, Jorge Polanco. Coming into the game was batting .450, and that was number 1 for the Mariners. We've definitely been missing him. Yeah, Florida coming back late, just like Houston did against Duke. Kind of gave them their own medicine. And why not go for the tie instead of greedy trying to go for the 3 and the win? And then the defense was right there and he was going to get blocked, so he just dropped the ball and then the game was over. That was terrible execution by Houston, but that's what happens. Coaching is everything. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss for Polo. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. But I'll be doing, everything on the Sessions Beat album at some point. Some are going to be a little bit, better for baseball, or whatever the event that I'm doing. But I'll be, promoting a lot of stuff. So, but I only got a chance to listen to about half of it before I started the stream. So that's why I only chose my 3 favorite at the moment. So, 2-1 pitch, line drive, right up the middle. Yeah, baby, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, baby. Trident's up, and that's exactly what we fucking needed. We got a hitter that was going to be batting .450 coming into the game, and what does he do? A clutch 2-run RBI to take the lead back. We're fucking winning now. Let's fucking go. Wow. I mean, my boy Brooks is giving us some good luck with these new beats, baby. Let's go. And normally when we get down late and, the manager makes a mistake or we have an error from a player like Demo at third, 90% of the time, we don't come back. We don't tie it up. We don't take the lead late. We just end the game and look like shit, and then we hang our heads in defeat. But when you have a guy batting .450 coming in, that's what happens. Holy hell. Awesome. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And just with that, hopefully we can hang on as the game goes on. But if we win this game, we're going to have a very good chance to win 2 out of 3. If we win tomorrow, we might be able to sweep, but I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Pitch is low and into the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Let's go. Let's go. Polo, baby. My phone is just blown up. All my friends here in the Pacific Northwest losing their goddamn minds. 2-0 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3-0 count. Let's go, Randy. Trident's up. Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, Polo went from 0 to hero in 1 year and a position change. He still sucks at third, though. Defensively, he's got a noodle arm. We have to be honest. But hitting-wise, we have not seen anybody hit like this for the Mariners since Ichiro. That's saying something. Bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Mariners. 2 outs, runner at first, 3-1 pitch. Stolen bag attempt, and Polo is safe. I appreciate that. I've been doing it for years. So I am the main source for Mariner streams on YouTube. I usually try to shoot for about 150 plus games out of 162. No one in the Pacific Northwest or across the globe is going to do more, games than me. So, and I've been a fan since '85, so almost 40 years. Popped up into right field, and appreciate that. It's always good to be able to get some more people that are either from the Pacific Northwest. I live here in Oregon, or if you're, in Washington, in California, or anywhere across the globe. But I appreciate that. And it also helps, when you meet Ken Griffey Jr. in 1989 at 7, that really changes your life forever. And again, I've been watching baseball and rooting since I was 3, and still got the Ken Griffey Jr. rated rookie Don Ross. And again, when you meet someone like this, it changes your life forever. Facts. All right, baby. End of the 8th, 4-3 Mariners. What a 2-run RBI clutch hit there by Jorge Polanco. Trident's up, and we might actually find a way to win this game. We're in the top of the 9th. And hopefully we can finish strong. I would assume we're going to be bringing in Andres Munoz. And let's close the fucking door, huh? Let's bring that electricity. Let's get it. And Logan Gilbert did a good job. Obviously, Walter only gave up the one solo dinger to Jose Altuve, and that was pretty much it. Let's fucking close the door, and let's get the job done. Shout out to all the new subs. All the people that liked, subs, shared, donoed, within the 2025 year, and as recently as just a few minutes ago. Appreciating you. If you can look at the library, this is not my first rodeo. We're on 20,725 subs. We got a long ways to go, but again, we got 20,725, 2,400 live streams or uploads, and that's just from 2017 until now. So I work on pretty much every day, and I've been full-time for 3 or 4 years. So let's go, baby. What a comeback, baby. Let's get it. Let's not be wild here like Santos. First pitch in there for a ball. 1-0 count from Munoz to Caratini. 1-0 pitch. Pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Munoz to Caratini. Come on, Mariner Moose. We need you, baby. Victor Caratini in the box. Andres Munoz on the mound. Let's go. Jaden in the building. What's good, brother? Oh, Olympia for 20 years. Nice, dude. Nice strike in there for Munoz to Caratini. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Caratini grounds out to J.P. Crawford. What a catch. Oh, my God. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, my. Oh, my. That was one of the plays of the game. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. I'm speechless. I mean, this was the good JP that we used to see from back in the day. What a game-saving play. And again, JP's defense, wow. And nice leaning there by Rowdy Tellez with the bag. Woo! 1 away. Wow. Big swing and a miss for Yanier Diaz. 0-1 count. Wow. Let's go. Diaz in the box. Andres Munoz on the mound. Right down the middle for a strike. Oh, baby, let's go. And Diaz strikes out swinging. 2 away. Way to bring that electricity, baby. Let's go. Win this shit. Woo! 1 out away, baby. Let's go. Last batter. Man, we've gone through all the emotions in this fucking game. Next up, last opportunity, center fielder, Jake Myers. Let's go. My, oh my. Making me turn into Dave Niehaus. Let's go. Let's go. First pitch. Out of the zone. 1-0 count. Cole with the tour. Let's go. One 0 pitch. Munoz, you got to frame that a little better, Cal. 2-0 count. $2 holla. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Hey, little Cactus Jack. Bye, bye. Appreciate you. 2-0 pitch. Fuck. Not getting any calls from this ump. 3-0 count. Next pitch, four-seam fastball looking. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fouled off on a four-seam fastball. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Mariners. We're at 22:78 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Big comeback here for the Mariners. Let's go. Count is full. Come on, Mariners. Top of the 9th, 4-3 Mariners after we had a 2-1 lead, gave up 2. And Myers grounds out to second, and that is it, baby. Mariners win! Mariners win! Mariners win! Hell yeah, what a thriller. What a fucking thriller. Oh my, and JP Crawford coming up big in the inning, as well as Andres Munoz. Let's go. Wow, and it really looked like we lost that game after Dan Wilson didn't bring in Gabe Spire. Gabe Santos out there, and Dylan Moore had the error. Wow. Let's go. We needed this so bad after losing and getting swept by the team in the Bay, the San Francisco Giants. Wow. Final score, Seattle 4, Houston Astros 3, and when the Mariners win, what the fuck do? We fucking dance. Mariners win! Mariners win! Mariners win! Woo! Man, this is going to be a victory that we're going to remember for a while. You know, considering it's been one of our worst starts in the first 10 games in like 8-9 years. We needed this. This was a must win. And we almost blew the game, but we got it back. Thank God. Wow. And Aaron Goldsmith and Dave Valley there in the booth. Dave Valley better than a few of the others that will be getting a chance there, like Ryan Roland Smith. Nice job, Mariners. Way to bring that electricity, baby. Wow. Awesome win. Man, and again, most of the time when you end up being up 2-1 and then you get down 3-2 and you have an error and you give up, 2 runs late in the 8th or the 9th, it's over. You don't come back. You don't tie. You don't come back and win. And we found a way. That's awesome. All right, let's get some photos. Cole, let me know what you want to do for photos. And then what do you want to do? Chief, you still in the building? You want to do some food? Photos here as we wrap this up. Polo 1 for 4, 2-run single in the 8th and a stolen base. And, when you end up batting, 450 coming into the game, it's down to 417, but I think we can give him a break. We can get Polo a break. You went from 450 to 417. You're still one of the best in Major League Baseball in the box this year. Let's go. Unbelievable. Sure. Absolutely. And from a guy that we all booed and wanted off the team, going from a 0 to a hero in 1 year, it's phenomenal. AJ Styles, baby. Way to be, Polo. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, let's see if we can get some food photos up here. I got to move around some stuff here. Nice job by Logan Gilbert as well. Santos actually gets credit for the win. Too bad. Logan deserved it. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. You'll take it.
You dream Oh my God.
The good stuff, baby. The music is going to go real good with the food photos too. Appreciate you. We'll be live tomorrow, same time, same place, at 6:40 Pacific for the Mariners and the Astros, game number 2 in the set. And then if Chief ends up coming back tomorrow, we'll be able to get some more photos for him. But I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I'm going to go take Paisley on a walk and eat some dinner. And what a victory. Man, I'm getting hungry now just looking at those photos. And shout out to my boy Brooks Beats, obviously with his Beat Album Sessions. And we're able to get a few of the tracks in there, like Better Off, that you're listening to now, Echo and Heaven. And we'll play some more as the year goes, obviously, fast forward here on the NWSF. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And hopefully we can end up repeating the success that we had today, obviously tomorrow as well as Wednesday. Shout out to all the people that liked, subbed, donated, commented, and shared. I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to Megan, Reflect, Chief, and Cole. And I got one question for you. Talk sports like us. Your boy Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Guys.